What's the deal with nutrition, satiation, and satisfaction? Hi, in case you're new here and don't know who I am Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. And no, I'm not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, a personal trainer. I am just some random 40-year-old guy on the internet who is truly reaching my goals as far as fitness and health. And it's not a coincidence. It's because I'm doing things on a daily basis. And yes, I'm at the gym for at least 30, 40, sometimes an hour a day. And it's true, I usually walk 2 or 3 miles a day too. I'm doing those things, but it really comes down to the food you eat. And yes, as far as fat loss, it's gonna come down to the calories. For me, if I'm averaging 1,800 calories a day, it typically means over the course of the week, I'm closer to my goal of losing that 1.4 pounds per week. It's gonna help keep me in there. So there's gonna be days I don't do it. There's days that I am able to do it. But it's the overall norm is what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna use my own initials to help share this message with you today. So my full name, Nicholas Shane Shell. That's my name, Nicholas Shane Shell, my given name. There you go. Well, using those same initials, NSS, nutrition, satiation, satisfaction. I may have mixed them up in the order compared to a minute ago when I started this video, but who cares? It doesn't matter. As long as we know what these three things are and what they mean and why they're so important when you're counting calories to cut fat, but still maintain muscle mass and still have energy. So let's take a look at those. So first is nutrition, and this is like a video I recently made talking about the difference between counting calories and making calories count. 200 calories worth of a soda compared to 200 calories worth of salmon, worlds of difference. One that actually gives you nutrition, one that is actually, I would argue, anti-nutrition. So when we're looking at our calories, I'm always looking at the nutritional value, which typically means, am I getting about 25 grams of complex protein in there? Am I getting about 25 grams of fat in there? And then as far as carbs go, usually I am looking for 25 grams of carbs, whether it's Dave's Killer Bread or whether it's unsweetened oats and frozen berries that are unsweetened. So usually I'm kind of looking at the macros that way, but I'm really heavily leaning on, more so than anything, I care more about the protein and fat. Carbs are sort of kind of a leftover for me. So I'm not like super strict keto like I have been before, other people are, but for me, as far as looking at that trifecta, that's how I'm looking at it. So the nutritional value of those calories. Next, and again, I'm not sure which order I'm supposed to do this in. Actually, let me see what my notes say. And I'll stick with that as a template. Satiation. Yeah, I like to do that one second. So nutrition. Satiation, these all in shun, by the way, T-I-O-N. Nutrition, satiation, satisfaction. They all in shun. So the second one, satiation. What does that actually mean? It means that you're not hungry still. Because you can eat 500 calories of something, but it may not fill you up for that meal. So you want to have the right macros in there to make sure that you actually are full. So that's why, and a lot of my meals are gonna be around 500 to 700 calories per meal. But as long as I've got my fat and my protein up high enough, it's going to do that. Because protein, more than anything, is gonna make you feel full. But when you add fat into that, that also works in a partnership with that. And that's not quite the same as just eating a bunch of protein, no fat or low fat, and then high carbs. I found that I'm most satiated as far as feeling full when I have high amounts of protein and fat. As far as carbs go, personally, I can go much lower on carbs, and a lot of times my carbs just simply means that it's vegetables or berries. Sometimes there's no grains involved in that. And then the last one is satisfaction, which for me is different than satiation. Satisfaction is I'm happy doing it. So for example, where I am now doing the whole keto thing, compared that to 8 months ago, I was eating a can of tuna every day. And I wasn't really enjoying it. Like, I did it, it wasn't horrible, but now I've changed what I eat in a way that it's more fun. Because now that I'm keto, I'm able to incorporate a lot more fat in there, and I just kind of trade off carbs instead. And I'm happier that way. I enjoy the food I eat. Even if I'm eating basically the same meals every day, I'm happy doing it. And I've figured out how to do that. So in closing, if my battery doesn't die, if I am gonna have a 3-meal day, here's what it would look like. I'd have my unsweetened oats with 2 ounces of heavy cream in there, 25 grams of protein powder from whey. I'd have a cup of frozen berries in there, and 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa or cacao nibs in there. And that is a very solid meal in itself. I mean, 25 grams of protein, I think at least 25 grams of fat, and easily 25, so it's a very balanced meal there. And then if I'm gonna have my next meal for that day, it would be a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, which is Dave's Super Bread, Dave's Killer Bread, thin sliced, a little bit of cheese on there, 3 eggs, free range, and then 2 slices of bacon, of course, no nitrates. And that would be my lunch. And then for dinner, typically, a big salad, 4 cups of spinach and dark leaves, and then I'll have kimchi and sauerkraut, usually with both of my second meals actually. And then a big fillet of salmon that I cook in olive oil. And then if I'm still hungry at the end of the day, I'll have my Greek yogurt with some more berries in it. But typically that's gonna get me right around 1,800 calories. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it sounds like I'm thirsty. Your comments belong right here.